Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe. In today's video we'll be making a Princess Dart Bustier pattern. So the materials needed for this pattern, we're needing our pattern paper, we're needing our ruler, we're needing our French curve, our marker, our scissors and our tape rule. So the first thing to do is to draw out a straight line at the top of your pattern paper. Draw out a straight line. So that straight line is going to serve as our shoulder line. So we'll be taking all our vertical measurements from that line. So go ahead now and place your vertical measurement starting from that line. From my shoulder line to my bust point is 10 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 10 inches. Then from my shoulder to my under bust is 14 inches. And my shoulder to my waist measurement is 17.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and draw lines on those points. So go ahead and label the lines now. The first line is your shoulder line. The second line is your bust line, your under bust line, and your waistline. So after this, the next thing now is to mark the shoulder measurement. So the shoulder to shoulder measurement I'm working with for this pattern is 16 inches divided by 2, that is 8 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 8 inches on the shoulder line like this. So from the 8 inches point marked, come down by your round armhole measurements divided by 2. So for me, my round armhole measurement is 18 inches divided by 2, that is 9 inches. So I'll come down by 9 inches. So take your ruler now and connect the 2 points together. So I'll extend this point horizontally now and I'll call it my chest line. So I'll go ahead to label it. So after that, the next thing we're going to do now is to measure our bust span and place it on the lines. So your bust span measurement is your nipple to nipple measurement. So for me, my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches divided by 2, that is 4 inches. So it varies for different sizes of people. So I'll go ahead now to mark 4 inches on my bust line. I'll mark 4 inches on my under bust line. And I'll mark the same 4 inches on my waistline. So go ahead to connect the 3 points together. So connect the 3 points together like this. So you should have something like this afterwards. So after marking out our bust span measurements, the next thing to do now is to place our darts. So I'll come over to the waistline. So on the closed edge of the paper, like the closed angle of the paper, I'm going to come from my waistline. I'll take half an inch from the bust span measurement. I'll go over to my under bust and take half an inch also. Then I'll connect the 2 points together. Then on the other side of the line, towards the open edge of the pattern paper, on my waistline, I'll come out by 1.5 inches from my bust span, and I'll take another 1.5 inches on my under bust line. Then I'll connect the 2 points together also. So after that, come over to the bust line and come down by half an inch. So go ahead to mark half an inch from the bust line. Then using my French curve, I'll connect this point to meet this point, and I'll connect this one to meet the other point. So place your French curve this way. And then connect the 2 points together. Do the same thing for the other side. So the reason why we came down by half an inch on the bust line is because we don't want the bust point to look sharp after we cut it out. So after placing the darts, the next one we want to do now is to place our armhole curve. So the first thing you want to do, come down to the line we drew earlier and come down by 1 inch. So connect it to meet the shoulder line to form the shoulder slants. So then take your tape rule and look for the midpoint of the line. So for me, I have 4 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 4 inches. Then from the 4 inches point, I'm going to come in by half an inch. So go over to your chest line and place your bust measurement divided by 4. My bust measurement is 42 inches divided by 4. That is 10.5 inches. So go ahead and place your bust measurements on your chest line. Then using your curved ruler, connect the 3 points together. So connect the 3 points together to form your armhole curve. This is going to give you the perfect armhole curve. So after connecting the 3 points, you should have something like this. The next thing to do now is to place the dart on the armhole. So take your tape rule and measure the curve you have here. So for me, I have 10 inches. So I'm just going ahead to divide it into 2. So dividing it into 2, I have 5 inches. So I'll come now and mark 5 inches on the curve. So go ahead and mark the 5 inches point on the curve. So in order to prevent the bust point from looking pointy, go over to the bust line again and then come up by half an inch. Then extend the line. So from this point now, using our curved ruler, connect your 5 inches mark down to the half inch point, forming a curve. And go ahead to connect it this way. So I'm going ahead to connect the 2 points together, and this is what it looks like. So from that 5 inch mark, I'll come out by half inch on both sides of the line. So using your French curve now, connect it to meet that point. Sorry, my marker joined the 2 lines together, but it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be standing separately, but my marker was a bit thick, so I'm sorry about that. So next thing now is to come down to this point and extend it out by 1 inch. So extend it out by 1 inch. And connect the lines together. So on the chest line, because of the 1 inch that's on the armhole, so that it won't truncate our armhole size, come out by 1 inch, then connect the 2 points together to form a new armhole curve. This is because of the 1 inch that's on the armhole, so that when we join it together, it will still maintain the same measurement. So connect the 2 points together. So when we are cutting out, this is the armhole we are going to cut. So the other one is not useful anymore. So right now, the next one we want to do is to place our round body measurements. So starting from the chest line, I already have my bust measurement there, so I'll just extend it by 1 inch. So the 1 inch extra is for our seam allowance. So I'll come over now to my bust line and I'll place the same measurements there. So on my waistline, my waist measurement divided by 4 is 9.5 inches. So I'm going to take account of the 2 inches that. So add 9.5 inches plus the 2 inches that is 11.5 inches. Then I'll add additional 1 inch for sewing allowance. That is 12.5 inches. I'll go ahead and mark my 12.5 inches there. So take your ruler now and connect the 3 points together. So the last thing to do now for this front panel is our neckline. So this only depends on you, your choice. So for me, for the wideness of the neckline, I'll be using 4 inches. So I'll mark 4 inches here. And for the depth, I'll be using 3 inches. Mark 3 inches. So then I'll take my curved ruler now and connect the 2 points together, forming a curve. Yeah, so this is it. So this is basically everything we need for the front panel of our Princess Dart bustier. So the next thing we want to do now is to cut it out. So after cutting out and opening it up, this is what we have. This is what it looks like. You can see the dart point, the bust points. So this is all you need for your Princess Dart bustier. The next thing you want to do is to just place it on your fabric and cut it out. So next thing now is to move to the back panel. So for the back panel, the first thing we want to do is to take out 1 inch for our zip allowance. So come over to the closed edge of your pattern paper and then come in by 1 inch from the closed edge. Do the same thing at the base. Then connect the 2 lines together using your ruler. So that point now is going to serve as our zip allowance. So connect the 2 points together. So after taking out the 1 inch for the zip allowance, the next thing we want to do is to draw out our starting line as usual. So go ahead to draw out the starting line at the top of your paper. So from this starting line, I'm going to be taking our vertical measurements just what we did for the front panel. So shoulder to bust measurements 10 inches, shoulder to under bust measurements 14 inches, then shoulder to waist measurement 17.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and draw out lines there. So after that, go ahead now to place our shoulder measurement on the shoulder line. So shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2, that is 8 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 8 inches on the line. And I'll come down by my round armhole measurement divided by 2, which is 9 inches. I'll join both points together now. Then I'll extend this point to form the chest line. So come down by 1 inch to form your shoulder slant. Connect it to the shoulder line to form your shoulder slant. Then look for the midpoint, which is 4 inches for me. And on the chest line, go ahead to place your bust measurement divided by 4, which is 10.5 inches for me. Take your curved ruler and connect the 2 points together, forming a curve. So the next thing to do now is to place our bust span measurements. So on the bust line, go ahead to place your bust span measurements, which is your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. For me, it's 4 inches. Then I'll place it on my waistline also. Use your ruler to connect both points together. So extend the line by 1 inch above your bust line. So on the waistline, from the 4 inch point, mark out half an inch on both sides. Then take your ruler and connect it to the point above the bust line. This is just the simple dart we'll be using for the back panel. So right now we're going to place our round body measurement. On my bust line, I have 10.5 inches marked already on my chest line, so I'll go ahead to add additional 1 inch to it, making 11.5 inches. I'll take the same measurement on my bust line. Then my waistline, my waist measurement is 9.5 inches. Then I'll take the 1 inch for that, 10.5 inches, and 1 inch for sewing allowance, which is 11.5 inches. So I'll go ahead to mark it on my waistline. And take your ruler and connect all the points together. So the next thing now is, okay, so while after cutting your pattern, make sure you add 1 inch to it at the base for joining on your fabric. So for the neck width, I'll be using 4 inches, and for the depth, 3 inches. Connect the 2 points together, forming a curve. Before we cut it out, we're going to come down to the waistline and connect the line to that point. Then mark in half an inch from the closed angle. Then connect these points to meet the edge of the pattern paper. We are doing this to avoid zip bulge. So we'll have avoid zip bulging out at the back. It's going to give it a perfect fit at the back when we attach zip to the fabric. So after doing this, the final thing we have to do is to cut it out. So extend your neckline to the zip point. So when I'm cutting out, I'm going to cut out that excess half inch out of it. Guys, we've finished cutting out the front panel and the back panel of our Princess Dart Bustier pattern, and you can see how simple it is. So if you find this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.